A gentleman once met me and said, Apostle, what would be the one secret that you think is responsible for what God is doing in your life? And I told him, I said, all the things you are going to say as suggestions are wrong. I study to the glory of God. I pray, I fast, I learn, but none of those things are the real reason behind the hand of God. I can tell you the real reason. I never forget where he's brought me from. And I remember, you see, when you forget where God took you from, there is something, there is a healthy anchor. There is an anchor that your memory of yesterday can bring to you. You remember how he picked you. Oh dear David, do not let the palace make you forget that you were once in the wilderness. Some of you, you have forgotten where God took you from. It is good to remember that he took you and brought you to Lagos and you did not even have a place to stay. Now that you are an estate owner, never forget. It is easy to submit when you remember. Pastor Nat sang it beautifully and said, I remember your goodness. I remember. Many people forget. It says, let it not be that when you have built houses, please hear me, you are a man of God here, you are a preacher especially, always go back to remember. Once upon a time you had no voice. Once upon a time you had no comeliness. Once upon a time there was no grace speaking upon your life. The nations did not even know you were there. Yet in that depraved situation, there was still an ancient king sitting on the throne, the one who lifts men. Now he has granted you access to taste of his hand. To forget him in the midst of mundane opportunities. I would rather ministry live 1,000 times so that the one who met me when nobody knew me, I rather remain. He's called the first and the last. Anybody who was not there does not deserve to be first and will not be last. Will only be found somewhere in between that equation. For some of you, God is calling you. Now you are ashamed of Jesus. You are so wealthy, he looks like an interruption to your growth. You are so blessed, you are a great preacher, expanded and enlarged. Ladies and gentlemen, return to that place. I remember, I'm now a mother of 4. But once upon a time I was in my fear. Will a man ever come to marry me? And his faithfulness, he came to pick me from my lowly estate. How about those who you never imagined from the family you came from that you may be able to go to school, and yet God picked you and you came probably to serve in Lagos. Today you are well established. No, never forget his goodness. The psalmist said, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his name. He says, bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not his benefits.